What is up? Today I'm going to be showing you how to play Phasmophobia. If you are a level like 0 to, let's say, maybe 20, 10, this is going to be for you. This is like very introductory. As you can see, I literally only have the base items on and they're level 1. So we're going to go into Tanglewood and I'm literally just going to show you basically how to use the items and specific things that might help you as you begin. So here we go. We're going into 6 Tanglewood. We might as well start there. Easiest, I guess, map, smallest map. The only thing you really need at the start is, I would say, the evidence and the ghosts. Evidence and ghosts. So you can see here, this is our before the ghost can hunt time. So we have about 5 minutes before it can hunt. You have some weekly objectives to get some extra money. Here's the map of the place, and this right here is actually the fuse box. So if the power ever goes out, you want to know where the fuse box is so you can turn the power back on. Here's our sanity. Most ghosts can start hunting you when you're about 50 sanity. So make sure you keep this high or else you could get hunted. This shows sounds. We don't really have sound sensors yet, so that doesn't matter. And this is the activity of the ghost. So once the ghost starts doing stuff, you'll be able to see it start moving around. So we have 5 minutes before the ghost hunts. We're going to go look for the room. The first things I like to take in are the thermometer, the video camera, and the EMF reader. So, thermometer is very simple. Once again, we're trying to see where the temperature is coldest. The coldest room of the house is where the ghost is going to be. So we're looking for cold rooms. Problem is, this thermometer is pretty bad and it takes a while for it to get down in temperature. So the two other things I brought with me are the EMF and the video camera. With the EMF reader, we're going to kind of walk around and listen to see if we can hear anything get thrown or touched. Maybe he'll touch a door. Maybe he'll throw an item. We're going to try and look around with that. And then if the ghost does touch something, you're going to get a different level reading. So maybe you go up to 3, maybe you'll go up to 2. And then you'll kind of be able to find where he is based on that, based on what he's touching and stuff. Then we also got the video cam. The video camera, like I said, we're using it to find the ghost orbs. If we get lucky, and it is ghost orbs, we'll be able to see these little balls kind of floating around in the room. So this is a very easy way to find the room if the ghost does have orbs, because it's the fastest evidence, I would say. Here's the bone. This gives you some extra money. You can also take a picture of the bone when you find it. The camera, we don't have it unlocked yet, the photo camera, but that's how you do that. So we're gonna look around for the ghost. Now, as you can tell, we're on the beginning mode. So the lights, the fuse box actually starts on. If you ever try and turn the lights on and it's not working, you're going to want to find the fuse box. So we'll do that. We're still going to walk around with our EMF reader on, try and see if we can find the ghost. But we're going to go all the way over here. In this house, there's 2 spots for the fuse box. One in the garage. I'm going to go over here. There it is right there. Perfect. So we got the fuse box open, and you can see it's green for on. Turn it off if you want, but always try and keep it on. Next, your sanity drains faster when the lights are off in the house. So you might want to turn some lights on to try and keep your sanity up so the ghost won't hunt you yet. Something just... There we go. Okay, so now he touched the door. So we're going to try and find which door he touched. We'll do a little adventure here. Nothing in here. We just heard him throw an item too. So you can see the EMF reader is still sitting around 1, so it hasn't touched anything over here. And there we go. This door's open, and we got an EMF 2. So we know he touched this door. We can now check the UV, because the ghost will always leave UV on the door. So we're going to go run and grab our UV as fast as we can. When a ghost touches a door, always check for UV and EMF. It could give you EMF 5, or you could get UV on the door. So we're going to run back and try and check that ASAP. Door, correct? Yes. Okay, so I don't see any UV. I might have been too late. The fingerprints only stay for a certain amount of time. I believe like 30 seconds or something. I did see my breath though. So if you see your breath, that means it's under 6 degrees. You're going to see the temperature is going to keep dropping. It's going down to 5. Maybe it'll go down to 0. Not sure yet. But we saw our cold breath. If you see the cold breath, it does not mean it's freezing. But 90% of the time, it means that we found the ghost room. If it's snowing outside, that's not the case, because the whole house is going to be cold, which means you'll see your breath everywhere. But you can see we're sitting around 5 degrees here. So we're going to assume this is the room, because as soon as I leave, 1, I don't see my breath, and 2, the thermometer starts shooting up, right? You can see it flying. So we're going to assume this is the room. We're gonna grab... Oh, I should leave this in here. Actually, let's check for orbs while we're here. I'll grab my video camera. There we go. See the little ball flying around? So we got ghost orbs. Perfect. You can actually take a video. This is a little more complex, like I said. Go into media. You can get a video, and this will give you extra money at the end. Now, if you're done with the video camera, you can actually put it on the ground. F on the keyboard, and I think left trigger on controller. And now we have that video camera down in the room. So we can kind of see what's going on in that room, even if we're not in there. We'll go back to the truck. I'll show you how the video camera works. Here we can go over to this monitor, click on video cameras, and now we can see in that room that we just set up that video camera. And we can see our sanity is at 89%, so we should still be safe from the ghosts. See a little bit of activity going on with the ghost, and we can see our video that we got. We want to try and fill this up if we do want extra money, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So let's grab the rest of our evidence items. We're going to try and get everything in there. So we see we have 0 seconds left. So the ghost can technically hunt now, but since we still have 89% sanity, we're probably not going to get attacked yet, since most ghosts start hunting around 50% sanity. There are some that are odd. A demon can hunt at 100% sanity. A couple others can hunt at only 30% sanity. So it's very back and forth. Oh, there you go. So you just saw that right there. It was a little kid crawling. So we got a little crawler ghost. So that's what the dots look like. It's literally just the green dots. It doesn't look like a physical form of the ghost. You can just see the reflection almost of the ghost walking through. So we can actually place this down. We know we got dots, which is awesome, but we can place this down by clicking F, holding F, and then rotating it which way you want it to face. So let's go that way. We're gonna go in our journal. I actually forgot to do this when I got the when I got the ghost orbs. We can go into evidence, click on ghost orbs. The X means that it's selected. It's good. That's what you want. So we can X the ghost orbs, and we can also X the dots. So now we have 5 possible options. Which is perfect. We're gonna check the EMF because I think something just got touched. Never mind, I'm tweaking. So we have our 2 evidences so far. There we go. See that? That's called a ghost event. The ghost will just kind of do something random, freak you out, and take your sanity. So you can see right there the difference between the first and the second. The first one, it was kind of like white shadowy, and then the second one was full green, right? The green is the dots, the shadowy is a ghost event. So when you saw that ghost event, it actually broke the lights. You could see it shatter really quickly. So we actually can't turn on the lights in here. So our sanity is probably going to go a little faster than it was before. And we can see the temperature doesn't seem to be getting to freezing. It might, but it doesn't seem like it yet. Now we can put our ghost rating down. We're going to hold F, put it down, or you can hold left trigger if you're on controller. So our ghost rating's down. We don't have to be in the room for the ghost rating, which is sweet. We can actually go wander around and come back and see. Maybe the ghost will write in it. And then we have our spirit box here. So you can either talk to it. To keep it simple, I'm just going to use text. Okay, so he just touched the door. We're going to check UV again since he touched it. So we're not getting UV, as you can see. Doesn't look like we're going to get UV on the door. So we're going to actually click it twice on this one. Rather than put an X through it to show that we have it, we're going to put a line through it showing we don't have it. So you can see that that actually eliminates Banshee as an option, since Banshee always has UV. We can get rid of that. Now we're going to try our spirit box. So we're just going to start clicking these options. Killing. There we go. First try. So that's what the spirit box sounds like. It gives you an audible response. And you can actually see, if you look at the spirit box, in the bottom right corner, you can see the white dot flashing. So you can see, when it does choose to respond, the white dot will start flashing. So if you're not sure if you heard it or not, you can also keep track of that. So, we got our 3 evidences. We got dots, we got ghost orbs, and we got spirit box. So we know it's a yokai. Each ghost has specific behaviors, so when you get really good at the game, you can actually tell the ghost just by, like, getting it to hunt you and then looking at it for most of the ghosts. So for a yokai, for example, it gets very angry when people are not talking near it. Talking near yokai will anger it, increasing the chance of attack. So if we go into ghosts, all of the ghosts will have specific traits and behaviors. That was another ghost event, by the way. It's very hard to tell the difference between a ghost event and a hunt. Yeah, there's no real solid way to tell. The more you practice, you'll be able to kind of just figure it out, what's a hunt and what's a ghost event. At the start of the game, I would just run. If the ghost is doing something crazy like that, I'd just get out because it's not worth dying over. So anyways, yeah, if you go into ghosts, you can see all the different specific traits. For example, wraiths are afraid of salt and will actively avoid it. Obake, sometimes this ghost will shapeshift, leaving behind unique evidence. So really cool different things that each of the ghosts do. Well, that's about it. There is one more thing that's nice and important about this, is that cursed items. So in each map at the start of the game, there's the dots ghost again. You're gonna get one cursed item. I'll show you where the locations are in Tanglewood. If you go over into the nursery, you're gonna have a music box up here. If you go over here, you're going to have a cursed mirror on the wall right here. You'll have tarot cards over here. Then you can go into the garage. You're going to have the voodoo doll, which is going to be on the garbage can right there. Go over back through the kitchen. In this drawer, you will have the monkey paw, which is what we got today. You can see it. And then in the basement, you're going to have the summoning circle. This big red circle, and then the Ouija board. The summoning circle will be here, and the Ouija board is going to be all the way back here on this table. A little bit dark in the basement. Maybe you should have turned the lights on, but that's alright. We can go back up here. We could use the monkey paw. The monkey paw has a ton of options. I'll show you them really quickly, because this is the most confusing cursed item. So you can click on ghost. I wish to see the ghost. I wish for activity. I wish to trap the ghost. I wish to be sane. I wish to be safe. I wish to leave. I wish to revive my friend. I wish for knowledge. And you can actually change the weather too. So, ton of options. A lot of them have backlash though, so you gotta be careful. For example, if you wish to see the ghost, after it shows up in the form of a ghost event, it is gonna actually hunt you. You gotta be careful. So here we can hear the ghost hunting. So as soon as you hear a hunt going on, as soon as you hear it start singing and stuff like that, you want to run as fast as you can and get away. So here's a good hiding spot right here. This is a locker. We're going to hide in the locker. I don't know why I just told you what a locker is. You know dang well what a locker. We're going to hide in the locker and wait for it to be done. If you think it's done, but you're not sure, you can actually go back out and check. So we're going to go over to this light and just start clicking it. If the light flicks, if it moves back and forth, the hunt's over. If you try and click it and it's like this, where it won't stop, like it won't click, the hunt is not over. So go back into hiding spot. If you can click the light, the hunt's over. So we're good to go. During a hunt, the front door is going to lock. So if you think the ghost is hunting, don't try and run to the front door. You gotta find a hiding spot. Some good spots are closets like this. The locker, like I showed you. And then sometimes you can find some boxes to hide behind too. I'm gonna see in the basement we might have some boxes. Go all the way back here. There we go. This is a good little spot here. Little 2 pieces of plywood. We can hide right in this corner until it's over. Like I said, each ghost is going to have 3 evidences. When you're on the easiest settings like we are now, it's super easy to get to see 3 evidences. Once you move up in difficulty, you can play in game modes where there's 2 evidence, 1 evidence, and even 0 evidence. You can make it really crazy. But, should be good to go. I'm going to get out of here. Go back to the truck. One more thing. So when you click on your journal, make sure to circle the ghost. If you forget to circle the ghost, you will not get any money for getting the ghost right because you didn't circle it. So you don't have to have all the other ghosts eliminated. If it shows up like this and you know it's a yokai, you can click yokai. These ones are still able to be there, but just make sure you circle the ghost that you're locking in. Then we're gonna go back to the truck. We can see we have 45 sanity. Decently high, but not too high. I didn't even use a flashlight. Flashlights are good. Yeah, I don't really use them, but if your game's really dark, you can turn your brightness up in the options. Go to video and turn brightness to 250. But yeah, I don't use the flashlight too often. The thing is, if you have electronics, such as the flashlight, you need to turn it off during a hunt or the ghost will find you. So make sure when the ghost is hunting, you turn off all your electronics and you don't talk, because it can hear you and it can sense your electronics if you're too close to it. Bang! So there's our yokai.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
We're gonna try one more round, see if we can get some different evidence here. We're back in Tanglewood. We got our map. We can see right here that there's the fuse box. That's the garage right there. So we're gonna go do that. Andy's 100. We got the timer on. I like checking the ghost names just for fun. We got Judy Hill. We're gonna have our evidence journal kind of ready to go, and we're gonna go in with the same thing. 3 things: the thermometer, video camera, and EMF reader. Like I said, I like walking around the EMF reader or the video camera more because the thermometer is really bad at this level. But once you unlock the other thermometers, I do like using the other thermometers better. So we're gonna rock around here. So here, we can see this time we got the cursed mirror. This thing is sweet. And now you can right click, or I believe A, to see through the mirror. This is gonna show you where the ghost currently is. So if you saw that really quickly, we kind of saw like a tea kettle. So we know it's the kitchen because there's a tea kettle. So it kind of showed us he was right here. Now, if the ghost is wandering around, it could be just wandering in the kitchen, and it could actually be, let's say, in the garage. But most of the time, this is going to be the room that it's in. So the first thing, like I said, I like to do is I like to check the ghost orbs because it's the easiest evidence. You see how fast that was? I literally just turned on the camera and we got a little orby flying around. So we're going to take a video of it just for the free money. You never have to take a video of it if you don't want to, but it's free. And then I do like to set up the camera so my teammates can see it. If you want, you can throw it right there. Now it's looking at the room. I heard that he just threw something. So make sure your EMF reader's on. You got the red lights. Boom! Look at that. See how high that is? That's an EMF 5. You can listen to it too. It's going crazy. So, we have 2 evidences already, and we just walked in the house. We got EMF 5, and we got, where is it, ghost orbs. So we can X both those. We know we have 2 options left. We got a Raiju or an Obake. So now that we have 2 options left, and we know there's only 2 possible ghosts, that means, since every ghost has 3 evidence, bear with me here. We have 2 evidences. There's only 1 more possible evidence it could be. We can do some backwards elimination here. If I click on UV, it's possible that it's an Obake. If I click on ghost writing, it's impossible that it's either of these ghosts that are left, right? So, we know we don't have ghost writing. We don't even have to try and get ghost writing. Then we can check freezing temps. We know we don't have to get freezing temps because it can't be a Raiju or Obake. We can check spirit box. We know it can't be spirit box because it can't be either of the ghosts. So we have ultraviolet or dots that are our possible options to get the Obake or Raiju. So we'll go back to the truck. We'll grab our ultraviolet and we'll grab our dots. Here is the UV. Here's our dots. We'll bring in the flashlight just for fun. We didn't use it last time and we don't need any more evidence items, so let's do it. Go on in here. Turn right at the kitchen. So here's our UV. We'll check the doors really quickly. Maybe you touched one of them while we were gone. Doesn't look like it. Didn't touch either of the lights. Nothing. Put that down. Let's put our dots right here on the table. Boom. So now it's ready. We're checking the lights if he touches them, or the doors if he touches them, or if he just walks in this area in general and we get the dots again. Now, you could wait. You could keep the light on to help your sanity drain less fast. You could keep the light on to let it drain less fast, but it's going to be harder to see the dots, right? So you can still see ghost orbs with the lights on, but you cannot use the spirit box with the lights on. So make sure the lights are off, and make sure always to check the response too. If it responds to everyone, you can use the spirit box when anyone is in the room, completely fine. If it says response to people who are alone, make sure when you're using the spirit box to tell your friends to go into the room. There's another hunt. Not sure how I could tell, but just, you saw how I backed away instinctually. As soon as you think it might be hunting, back away. Just give it a little space, you know? You can try and instigate the ghost a little bit. Show yourself. Okay. Well, be careful when you do that. Always make sure you know where a hiding spot is. So there we go. I knew the closet's right here, so we're gonna hide in the closet. and we're just gonna wait. There we go. Sounds like it might be done. And like I said, we're gonna check again by doing this. If you can flick the light, then the hunt's over. So it's over. We're gonna go back here. We're gonna wait for dots again. It's either dots or UV. Actually, let's check a door. I think you might have touched the door there. I think it's gonna be UV. There it is. So you can see the handprint on the door. There's a number of different handprints. If there's 5 fingers... Oh gosh, okay, it's hunting again. So we did get the UV. We're gonna hide back in here. Make sure to turn your electronics off. Once again, reminder, turn the electronics off and don't talk during a hunt. If you get 5 fingers on the door, it could be any ghost. If you get a 6-finger handprint, 6 fingers, it's going to be the obake, no matter what. Unless it's a mimic mimicking an obake. Mimic's a little too intense, kind of, for this video. The mimic is the only ghost that has 4 evidence. So if you have, let's say you have these 3 evidences, it can only be a Hantu, correct? Wrong. The mimic has ultraviolet, freezing, ghost orbs, and spirit box as evidences. And it always has ghost orbs. The reason it has four evidences is because its ghost orbs are fake evidence. So these are actually its real evidence. You can see the mimic. So these are the real evidences of a mimic. But you will always see ghost orbs with a mimic. So if you see ghost orbs, let's say you unlock ghost orbs and you see the mimics canceled out, it actually could still be the mimic. So we got our UV, so let's X that. Let's go back to what we had earlier. Getting a little lost here now. I'm doing all that. There we go. So obake. So make sure we circle our obake. We had EMF 5, UV, and ghost orbs. So we're gonna circle our obake, head back out of the building, and that's it. What was the last ones we didn't use? Ghost writing. We didn't get ghost writing and freezing. Freezing's super standard. If it gets under 0 or 32, if you're using Fahrenheit, it's freezing because it's freezing. And ghost writing, you'll just see scribbles or writing in the book. That's it. If the ghost has thrown the book, it can't be ghost writing. So if the ghost throws the book, you can X out ghost writing, like this. Sorry, not X it out, put a line through it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please just let me know in the comments. I will actually try and answer as many as I can. But yeah, this was the super simplified way to play the game. Because I remember when I was a newbie, I didn't know what to do. And having a video like this would really help out if it was fast and clear cut. That's it. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. See you next time. Peace!